In 1940, Russia was encountering major difficulties on the heavily armored front line of the Mannerheim Battle in Finland. The Russians needed something to deal with all the bunkers Finland had on the front. A Russian guy named Zhai Kotin had 2 weeks to design a tank to fix Russia's problem. So, he took inspiration from a fridge, not actually, and made a KV-2 using the chassis from the KV-1. The Russians basically knocked off the KV-1's turret and put a fridge on top to replace it. Though in this instance, the fridge had a 152mm howitzer, which was a real bunker buster. The decision to add this new turret design increased the weight of the standard KV-1 from around 45 tons to over 53 tons. Just the turret by itself, which was made out of pure rolled homogeneous armor, weighed upwards of 12 tons. The chassis of the standard KV-1 was already straining from the weight without the ugly fat fridge on top. No modifications were made to the KV-2's chassis to fix this problem. Despite these issues, after the tanks were designed and tested near the factory, they were sent to the front in Finland. The tanks were given to the 20th Heavy Tank Brigade for combat trials. The immense size and weight of the KV-2s earned them the nickname Dreadnought by their crews, with one of the KV-2s reported to have taken 22 hits without being knocked out of action. According to some sources, Finnish anti-tank guns actually stopped firing at the tanks after 3 non-penetrating hits, which is pretty believable considering at this stage of the war, the Finns were so low on ammo, they did everything to conserve what they had. However, the KV-2's chassis was still suffering from the overweight turret, as was the turret ring itself. With so much weight on the turret ring, it moved like a rock. The turret was only capable of rotating a full 360 degrees in 36 seconds. The KV-2 was a very top-heavy tank. In some cases, the KV-2's recoil, combined with its top-heavy turret, was literally capable of flipping the tank over if fired on uneven terrain. Another turret-related problem was that when the KV-2 rotated or fired on uneven terrain, it had the potential to break the turret ring completely. Despite all these problems, 334 KV-2s of different variants were produced by 1941, with most KV-2s being lost that same year due to the way they had to be deployed against the Germans. The KV-2s were forced to be used directly in defensive combat against the Germans, which is not the kind of role they were meant for, leading to poor performance in most scenarios. Though the KV-2 still gave the Germans a headache because of its thick armor, which could only be penetrated by the most powerful anti-tank weapons at the time. Make sure to join my Patreon to get exclusive deleted scenes and behind-the-scenes photos. Also, check out my Patreon store, where you can buy the tank models used in this video. Thanks for watching.